The Fiery Youth. Chapter 5, The Fiery Youth's Trial. The alley at the corner of the street was heavy with damp air. The sun hadn't yet set, but the dim golden light stretched long, patchy shadows of graffiti along the walls. Eli stood in front of an old apartment building, fists clenched in his pockets. He knew he shouldn't be here. But the call from Abao had been like a hand reaching from the past, yanking him back into that chaotic, explosive world he used to know all too well. Lijai, long time no see. Remember this place? Abao, cigarette dangling from his lips and dressed in a tracksuit, stood with two equally scruffy gang members by his side. The tone was friendly, but there was a hint of something else, something probing. Say what you need to say. I'm in a hurry, Eli replied coldly, his eyes locked on the group. Heard you got into some fancy school? Playing basketball now? Abao grinned. Trying to go clean, huh? Don't joke. Everyone around here knows you're one of us. I don't owe you anything. Eli's voice turned icy. He turned to leave. Wait. Abao stepped in his way. Got a job for you. Just watch someone, easy cash. Get lost. Eli snarled and shoved Abao's hand aside. One of the punks beside him scowled and gave Eli a hard shove. What's with that face? Think you're some rich kid now? Before he could finish, Eli's fist smashed into his jaw. He spun and swept the second guy to the ground with a clean kick. His moves were sharp, instinctive, not like a student's, but someone forged on the streets. The alley erupted into a brawl. Eli, outnumbered 3-1, fought fiercely, but one of them managed to grab him from behind, choking him. In the chaos, a food stall vendor nearby screamed, "The cops are coming!" The wail of sirens approached. The gang scattered. Eli collapsed onto the pavement, blood at the corner of his mouth, but his eyes were clear. He didn't run. Instead, he helped the frightened stall owner pick up the scattered dishes. Sorry for the trouble, he said quietly. Back at school, he was late. As he stepped onto the practice court, the basketball team had already begun drills. The coach stood on the sideline, arms crossed, his face stern. Chanilia, you're just now arriving? The coach's voice boomed. Leave the court immediately. Your qualification to compete is suspended until further notice. I have a reason, Eli shouted, still bruised and nasal from the scuffle. I was dealing with something. I didn't mean to be late. This isn't the place for excuses. The coach cut him off. If you want to be part of this team, you follow the rules. If not, leave. The whole court went silent. Eli stood frozen under a dozen sharp gazes, more painful than the punches in the alley. He felt like he had just clawed halfway up a cliff, only to be kicked off again. After school, he returned home. His father sat at the table reading the newspaper, not even glancing at him. Another fight? Late again? Don't bother coming home next time, his father said, voice cold as ice. You think school's some kind of charity? You stir up trouble and smear the company name. I wasn't starting trouble. Eli tried to explain but was cut off by the slam of his father's hand on the table. Enough. I'm sick of hearing it. Ever since you were little, all you've ever done is fight. What else can you do? In the end, I always have to clean up your mess. In that moment, Eli felt something burning inside his chest. He wanted to shout back, but no words came. His father's cold stare was like a wall, blocking every way out. Late at night, the lights above Tianqing High's outdoor basketball court burned bright. Eli stood alone at center court, a ball in his hands and a bandage on his forehead. His knees still ached, and he could barely stand at the free throw line. But he shot anyway. The ball bounced off the rim and rolled back to his feet. He picked it up and shot again. 1 shot, 2, 10. No cries of pain. No breaks. Only he knew what this meant. Basketball was the one thing he wouldn't give up. It was the only way he could draw a line between himself and the past. A few days later, the competition roster was posted on the school bulletin board. Eli's name had been crossed out, replaced by a younger substitute. Some whispered nearby. Some patted his shoulder and said, That's a shame. But most just watched coldly, like witnessing a falling star destined to crash. Jian Ziyu stood in front of the list, frowning. He found Eli and tossed him a bottle of cold water. "What the hell are you doing?" he asked. Eli caught the bottle but didn't respond. Ziyu sighed. "I know you were helping someone that day, I checked. But if you don't speak up, no one will help you. You think staying silent makes you cool? It just makes you dumb." Eli pressed his lips together. After a long pause, he finally said, "Even if I told them, no one would believe me." "Then make them believe." Ziyu stared at him. "Not with your mouth, but with what you do next." In that moment, for the first time, Eli felt he wasn't alone. He realized he still had a choice. He didn't have to return to the streets. He didn't have to become the failure his father saw. And he didn't have to give up basketball. But he had to try harder. He had to really change.